What is up, everybody? You're live with the Prodigies. Another great episode of The Report, an opinion piece where we talk about topical, hot button things. And this is the buzz in the gaming world, specifically with Nintendo and Xbox after 26 years. Yes, you heard me right. 26 years. It's finally, as The Rock would say, back in action. The titular 007 character, GoldenEye, is not a remake, which I would like it to be. It's a remaster, and I'm super excited that it's back. I've been waiting for a while. It was initially released September 13th, 2022, where it became speculation in 2021, where some Xbox or Microsoft achievements were leaked that this is possibly going to be a remake. And some people's like, I don't know, because this game is supposed to be remade in, I think, 2007 and 2012. And we already know ultimately they ultimately got canceled to a lot of people's chagrin. A lot of people were upset. I was definitely one of the people that was upset when it got canceled. But nonetheless, it came back early. If you have Game Pass, you have it for free, which is one of the benefits from having Microsoft, which not only is it a powerful system, a way more powerful system than PlayStation, you also get a lot of perks with Game Pass. Now, to be fair, PlayStation is improving with PlayStation Plus, and they have a lot of great first exclusive titles, and Xbox is kind of catching up. However, I want to get into something because this has been coming an alarming, out of control issue with the overly powerful feminist characters in these unrealistic situations, these popular IPs that change just for the sake of change, considering a lot of the people that are crusaders of this feminist movement aren't even fans of the stuff that they're attacking. The gay population is about 10% of this globe. And the fact that they try to take over things that always been historically masculine is quite crazy. Let's look at this current thing with Velma. Velma is absolute garbage. Now, the writer that made that show is okay when she has a filter and when she has an editor. But when it gets out of control, it gets... Now, allegedly, she wanted to be something else. But my thing is, I don't like making excuses for people when you could have spoke up about something. That's like game developers say, oh, well, yo, why y'all mad at us? We only doing what the corporation told us to. That right there is a problem. In itself is a problem. You're not having the courage to step up and say, you know what? I'm not going to compromise my integrity to make these awful games and have these fans upset at me. At some point, you got to stand up. And I thought GoldenEye, not GoldenEye, but 007 in general, utilized masculine and feminine energy as about as perfectly as you can do it. And it's about as realistic as you could do it. It had a lot of badass females, which we'll mention some of them in a bit. It had very great romantic scenes. You can see in these thumbnails here, it's a lot of these pictures of these women hugging the men, and it looks genuine. Like a lot of other shows, sometimes it's too either aggressive on the men's end or too aggressive on the woman's end. It's always never balanced. And I always thought 007 did the best job at balancing these characters. Yes, the character at times came off as misogynistic and a womanizer. However, a lot of women checked them on that, specifically, excuse my language, Pussy Galore, who originally in the source material was a blackhead lesbian character, which that's an authentic lesbian character. A lot of these shows like Marvel force lesbian characters. So they want to switch people to women like Taskmaster and Black Widow just for no damn reason. But I'm okay with LGBT being represented when it's authentic or it comes from the source material. Stop changing these popular IPs to make less than 10% of a art or a fan base happy, because they'll never be happy. It's like a lot of them have issues internally. Like they got to work on that for a lot of different ways. I'm not gonna get into that here. That's for a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But I thought James Bond, no matter who was playing the character, always had a pretty believable female counterpart. Yes, some of them were just eye candy. They were just there to look hot. The like kind of the Michael Bay type thing. All sizzle no steak, so to speak. But a lot of them, and I'm gonna read them right now, actually were believable threats. The first person that comes to mind, and I always forget you say her name, Famke something. Famke, she was in GoldenEye, which is one of my favorite 007. GoldenEye and Goldfinger are probably two of my favorite 007s. I just rewatched Goldfinger a little while ago before I did this. She played, her character was Russian, Zanya Untop, and she was played by the real life actress Famke Janssen. I think that's how you say her name. She was a believable villain or threat to James Bond. She was trying to crush him with her legs. Like she played like this kind of like a Venus flytrap type character where she used her sexuality to lure guys in and control them. But let's read a real brief thing right here from movieweb.com. The role of Xenia Antop in GoldenEye, Xenia makes the list as one of the most intimidating Bond girls, which she was because I saw the movie, considering that she tried to crush Bond between her legs. Her Soviet background makes her a force of nature, willing to go almost any length to achieve her mission. As some consider conflict between her and Bond, he managed to use the charm to get past Xenia's rough exterior to her true nature inside. While Xenia met her in GoldenEye, Johnson would go on to play, well, we know she played Jean Grey, but we focusing on how badass she was. She was a legitimate threat. Also, Pussy Galore was a believable sniper in one of the best James Bond ever, Goldfinger, which came out in 1964. She came off as really believable. She didn't trust him. She kind of saw through his facade as a womanizer. And eventually she came to her senses for the greater good that they both need to end Goldfinger, because she had a personal vendetta against Goldfinger because he killed her sister, and took one of the most iconic scenes ever in the movie when she was that gold. He put that gold paint, which basically suffocated her. Which, if you're not careful and put toxic paint on you, it can't suffer. It can kill you. So it was such a great visual, especially considering the time that it came out, 1964. They didn't have the best technology, so this was really great. Who was some other great? Vesper, who ended up sacrificing herself in Casino Royale. One of the better modern, I probably would say probably the best Daniel Craig. That Skyfall and the last one that came out, Never Die Tomorrow, whatever it was called. Vesper, who ultimately changed. I feel like this humanized a very kind of aloof 007 character who was played by Daniel Craig. Some of the men thought it was like, oh, he's simping all this. No, it showed that 007 had a human, emotional male side. He had an attachment to women. And of course, later on when M died, and I think in Skyfall, he kind of started to spiral a little bit. And it shows like how the characters, and I think one of the ones from the 70s was also, I forget, I want to say it was either Roger Moore or Tim Dawson, where the 007 take was more personal. I personally like the more personal revenge 007s as opposed to the campy ones when they stop in some voodoo person or something. I didn't particularly care for those. But as I just want to reiterate, this franchise had like the perfect balance of masculine and feminine energy. Go back and look yourself, watch a significant amount of movies. There's a lot of them. Google the top 10 best ones and watch at least 5, and you'll see what I'm talking about. If you want to just watch 2, watch GoldenEye and Goldfinger. You'll see what I'm talking about. Those women came off as badass characters. And also another thing 007 doesn't get enough credit for, even though it wasn't always executed properly, the type of diversity that they had. They had Koreans, they had Japanese, they had Caribbean folk. They had a lot of different type of Europeans. Of course, Russians. Like I think Spanish. Like they had almost every group represented in this particular great franchise, and that's why I think this is great. So go check out 007 if you have a Xbox Series S or X. Unfortunately, it's not on a PC, or if you have a Nintendo Switch. And I saw it on Switch. It doesn't look that great. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I wouldn't play. I probably wouldn't take it a series on Switch, and it's unfortunate because I think Switch is the only one with the online capability. You would have think Microsoft being a much stronger platform would have had it, but I think that was Nintendo's way of leveraging an advantage over Microsoft. So that's what it seemed like, at least to me. So yeah, go check this out. Bunch of badass women. It was a badass Korean fighter on here as well. She came off as believable. Her name was Kissy Suzuki. She was in You Only Live Twice. That one came out, I believe, that was a Sean Connery one, so it came out in the 60s. Where she basically pretended to marry him as like a double agent type thing. It was sweet. You know what I mean? So go back and check this out, man. Protest stuff like Velma, which is obviously promoting toxic, unrealistic beats between males and females. I'm sure I can think of some male ones too, like guys like what's this guy name? Tate. And it was Andrew Tate. People like him obviously got issues. I agree with some of the stuff he said, but he's not going about it the right way. Kevin Samuels, people like that, Lee Daniels, Shonda Rhimes, all these people that screwing up that work for Marvel, that work for Disney. Protest this stuff. If you want good content, stop watching it. Go check out all these great 007s. Y'all have a good day. Follow me on YouTube, TJ the Prodigy. We always got great content. The R. Kelly video taken off, so go check that out. It got a lot of controversy, but at least it got people talking. We got the Tory Lanez. Actually, the Tory Lanez verdict happens today with his sentencing. So we'll have something on that likely on Sunday before I go to work properly. Or we'll have it soon. We'll have that soon. So, yeah. TJ, it's TJ Time 1991 on Twitter. Or no, actually, it's TJ Time 91 on Twitter. And TJ the Prodigy on YouTube. Y'all be great. Have a good day. Like I said, my throat's not the best, so sorry if y'all could barely hear me on here. But yeah, I had to do this. It was too important not to. Peace.